आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुः श्रोत्रमथो बलमेन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदम् माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनि निरते य उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Om. May all my limbs attain strength. May the body, the mind, all the sensory and motor organs and the life force become efficient and powerful. All is verily the one without second, ever perfect, ever blissful, existence itself, the Brahman. May I never deny this truth of Brahman. May this truth never reject me either. I understand that the experience of this truth requires many qualities described in the Upanishads as necessary. May all those qualities be with me. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Let us feel we are removing the garment of our body. The body is just like clothing. And we can separate ourselves from it. As we remove this garment of body from our being, we experience that we are neither young or old. We were never born. We have no particular size or shape. We are not male or female. we see that it is one without second existence. The differentiation was only because of the body. We see we are beyond space and time. We are bliss itself. Om, peace, peace, peace. So let us begin this 163rd class on this great, unique text of devotion and knowledge that brings the ultimate illumination in one's life. Let us begin with the opening chant, which happens to be the very first verse of this text. Janmadhyasya yatonvayati tarata चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत् सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि. That from whom creation, sustenance and dissolution of the universe take place, who is both the instrumental and material cause of it, who is omniscient, is the only one having self-mastery, being the one independent entity, who illumined the mind of Brahma with the Vedic revelation, whose wisdom is the wonder of even the greatest sages, in whom the world of the three gunas subsists, just as the combination of materials like fire, water and earth subsist in their causes without changing their elemental nature, in whose consciousness there is nothing false. On that truth supreme we meditate. So that supreme truth, which manifests as all these relative entities which come and go, appear and disappear, that supreme truth is to be meditated upon, to be sought. This is what in theistic terminology called God. The God does not change. in this apparent process of creation, sustenance, and destruction. These processes go on, but they are just apparent manifestations that does not touch the reality. That is why in Vedanta it is called Vivarta. Means there is appearance of something happening, but there is no change at all in the reality. It remains intact, only it is an apparent manifestation. There is the creation is of two types, vikara and vivarta. What is it? What two words did I say? Vikara, say, and vivarta. So vikara is again subdivided into three. That it is, one is called utpadya, then another is called sanskarya, the third one is called apya. So it is the that utpadya means you create something from some other material. So like from wood, you create so many chair, these, that. So this is manufactured from wood. A process goes on in that. Then there is the sanskarya, that there is the mirror that you look at it, but if it has a thick layer of dust accumulated, then you don't see the face. So what is to be done? Not that you have to buy a new mirror, just wipe off the dust and then you see your face in it. So that is called sanskarya. Then apya is that you don't have it, but you can buy it. It is not with you. So like you don't have greens to eat, so you go to shop and then buy it from there. That is called apya. There is another variety called vikarya, but it is included many times in utpadya. So anyway, these are the varieties in what is called vikara. And then means the thing is that you obtain, there is a change involved in it. And then there is another thing that is called that it is vivarta, means there is no change happening. For example, that you see water where there is actually no water. It is called the phenomena of mirage. That there is only the earth, and then due to combination of light and all, it appears that there is water. Now that water is neither brought in nor created nor somehow produced. There is no water except in the appearance. So this universe is like that, just appearance. It never was created. It is God alone appears like this. That is why it is mentioned here, without changing their elemental nature. It just remains as it is, but our perception changes. There is a famous art form where bless you. Yes, agree, Yeah, it is. You are agreeing with us, okay. So, you see either a vase or two faces, two people facing each other, as it were. Now, there are no two pictures, but two ways of looking at it. One changes into another without actually there being any change. So, there is this manifestation, you can see it like that. Or there is the one undivided existence itself. In the one, there are no problems. In the manifested, by the very idea of manifestation, there will be conflicts. If it is one vase, there is no fight. If two people looking at it like that, there will be what, Abhijit? There will be tussle, there will be conflict, there will be difference of opinion, and so forth. Isn't it, Yona? Yeah. So, and it cannot be eliminated as such. It has to be there. This universe is like that. Conflict is one of the building blocks of this manifested universe. There is no resolution to them. But if you go deeper and see what it is, then there is no conflict. There is no otherwise any resolution of conflict permanently. For a little time you reconcile things, but then it surfaces again, as it is in the Hegel's philosophy. And there is a thesis. Wonderful philosophy. Thesis, but as soon as the thesis is presented, there is an antithesis that has to come up. It is an antithesis because there are arguments against it. Whatever assertion you make, there would be a counter assertion in this world. You cannot eliminate that. So, these two come up, and then there is a synthesis. That is the third part of it. The two then, they have a conflict and then the resolution of the conflict. So it is a synthesis. But that synthesis again becomes a thesis and so an antithesis. And like that, this process of a historical dialectics goes on. There is no solution to that. A world without conflict, there is no such thing. World means conflict. It is. Just as there is no electricity, no flow of electricity without positive and negative. So that is what creates the flow. So without that, there is no electricity. So similarly, this world is always going to be full of conflicts. But if you want peace, if you want bliss, all that we have to do is to look at the truth and see that that is the reality. And there is the resolution of all conflicts, and you are in bliss. So that is why Sri Ramakrishna always mentioned God realization is the goal of human life. So we were seeing this through wonderful stories, and the story that we had been seeing in last some classes, that is the very highly illuminating story of this Prahlad, the wonderful child who was born of a very demonic, asuric father. The father, Hiranyakashipu, was tremendously powerful and has acquired a boon of almost immortality and invincibility. So he was trampling over all the three worlds and had brought them under subjugation and has banished God from the whole kingdom, that no God except myself. So it is, but his son was tremendously devoted to God. And as we saw the story, that uh, Prahlada, he uh, could not uh, that accept this demonic doctrine of Hiranyakashipu, nor of the teachers at his school. So therefore, Hiranyakashipu was very angry, and still the teacher said maybe when he grows up, right now at this childish age, you can't really blame anybody. Children are going to be children, so let us give him some time. But then at school, Prahlada started spoiling the other children. Spoiling means in the understanding of these demons. He started telling all the little kids that the purpose of life is to surrender to Hari, the Lord of everything, and the one who is the reality in all. And it is impossible otherwise to get peace and happiness in the world. There is no emancipation from all the clutches of attachments. We form connections just a little before time before the class. I got a message on WhatsApp. Before also that person had sent me some messages that how her spouse is torturing her. They are having conflicts to no end, and finally he is deserting her. So uh, it is she is in a big turmoil, a lot of psychological, burning and anger and all that is going on. Now it is because of I and mine, my spouse, my child, my family, my friends, my capabilities, all my. And that creates such entanglements and attachments that you cannot see the true nature of the reality. And thus there is no freedom, no happiness. It is we saw in the last class, as the age advances, if one does not train one's mind, the entanglements keep on growing, building, and you get then caught in such a very difficult situation. You don't see how you can escape now. The every single thing is now a bondage. All that you thought as mine is my bondage, and we don't realize it. Whatever, even if I say that this cloth is my, that only means it is my bondage. Whatever I say my, that is my bondage. So Prahlada was teaching this to the children, and the children started agreeing with him. It is a very rational doctrine, very clear, very scientific, and there is, for a scientific, rational mind, there is no way you can get away from it. So the children started seeing the truth of this. And the teachers, getting alarmed, informed Hiranyakashipu, who scolded this child left and right, terribly angry. And then he asked, "Where do you get this strength to defy my orders?" uh, he saw that the whole three worlds are under his command, in his fist, as it were. And this child has the audacity to challenge, to defy, and but he had also seen that many attempts to kill the child did not succeed. Somehow the child survived. Many soldiers of his attacked to kill him, but their spears and swords could not do any harm to the child. So he was wondering what is happening, what is here. And so, where do you get this strength? Now, where do we get our strength? It is the source is one, that God, all power, not just mine, but including yours. He tells his father that even your power comes from God. Just one source. There are different manifestations. Like you have, for example, the electric heater, and there is refrigerator. Both run on the same electricity. It is not different, but one manifestation is heating, another is exactly opposite, cooling. So, similarly, he said that all power is coming from the same one source. And for Hiranyakashipu, this was too much to take in. So, O king, not only for me, but even for all considered strong, including yourself, this source of strength is He, the Supreme Being, who controls, like His slaves, all beings high and low, from Brahma down to the blade of grass. Everything is under the control of this one being. And let us try to feel this, friends. This is truth. We swerve from this truth, thinking that I have this strength, I can do this and that. No, it is, I know. One person was telling to his children, "Don't worry, I will support you. I will give you all that is needed." Uh, but that person got, this is something that I saw. While he was telling his children, his parents, everybody that, "Oh, don't worry, I earn enough. I can support you all." Now, due to some reason, he got a hemiplegia. And then he was just bedridden. He could not support anybody. His spouse had to look for some job to get a little earning. And he could not eat himself, could not get him from the bed himself. So now what happened? Where is the all the ego that I will be doing all these things in one moment? All that vanishes. So let us not have this ego at all about it. Ma kuru dhana jana yauvana garvam harati nimeshat kalas sarvam. This is a very famous verse from Shankaracharya's that Charpat Panjarika or Bhaja Govindam hymn. That don't think that you have enough money, you can support everything, you can do anything, everything is under your control. No. You think enough money. Whose is the money? The one who gives takes away. Ah, so dhana, then the my youth, I have a lot of youthful energy, and so don't be proud about it. It goes away very fast. Before you know, the nice black hair become completely gray. It is just matter of a few moments, and the things change completely. Uh, don't think that you have lot of people under your control. Dhana jana yauvana garvam. Harati nimeshat kalas sarvam. The time in a moment can just remove all that. So therefore, be devoted to the reality, to God. So he tells his father that he is the Supreme Lord. He is the mover of time that moves all. We see the idea of time. Time moves all. In fact, the time is the name of change. The very idea of time is like that. Whatever is changing, you associate time. No change, no time. So change and time are synonymous in a way. And so time moves everything. Who moves time? The God is the mover of the time also. The time is superimposed on him. So all the senses and body mind function by his strength. That your eye sees, he is the power of your eye. That it is therefore the Ken Upanishad and describes one a spiritual aspirant was having this wonderful question. It's a very nice question to ponder about. That uh, what makes this eye function, ears function, the mind's function, for whom, by whose order are these instruments functioning? The mind, the body, the sensory organs, motor organs, who is the user of all these? Contemplate on that. Who is the user of the eye? Eye is just an instrument, but the instrument never functions on its own. It is for somebody it is made, and that somebody works through that instrument. So who is that who sees through the eye, who thinks through the mind and brain, who walks on the feet? And now the sage responds in somewhat mystic way, that the what sees, it's the eye of the eye. What hears, it is the ear of the ear. They who thinks mind of the mind, means behind all this there is the reality of which these are expressions, and therefore they are not separate from the mind or the organ. There is no separate reality, no separate user. In the ordinary case, you have, say, uh, uh, a that stirring ladle and the pot that is to be stirred. So you hold the stirrer and you stir the pot. So you are separate from that instrument. But with eye, ear, the instrument is superimposed on the reality. So it is not separate also. It doesn't function on its own. There is a reality that makes it function. Please pay attention, friends, on to this point, that this world or any object that we see in the world is not exactly the truth, but it is not separate from the truth either. These appearances do not have any separate reality, but they are manifestations of the supreme truth behind. So this is to be felt, friends, like the waves. They rise on the ocean. Now there is the ocean has existence beyond waves, but waves do not have existence beyond ocean. So we must understand these manifestations are completely dependent, reliant on this truth. So Prahlada is trying to tell this truth to his dad, that uh, his he is the supreme creator, sustainer, destroyer. Please abandon your evil, asuric tendencies. There is no enemy greater than one's mind when it is filled with ego. We think that that is the enemy that I have to defeat, conquer. But the mind filled with violence and evil thoughts, that is the worst enemy that we can have. This is paraphrasing the verses in Bhagavad Gita, the 6th chapter, that he says, Krishna says, that Atma iva hi Atmano Bandhu, Atma iva Ripur Atmanah. The best friend is the well controlled mind, and the worst enemy that you can think of is the uncontrolled evil mind. So, therefore, uh, there is take refuge in the all pervading God. Now, look at this. Prahlada is actually able to see the all pervading reality. He is established in that, he is able to see that. Hiranyakashipu is not able to see that. That is, and so he becomes this my little child has gone completely insane. He is talking all gibberish, meaningless things. I am not able to see any other reality that he is talking about, that moves all and is in all and all. So where is it? So Prahlada says further, there are some fools who consider themselves to be the conquerors of the world, but they have not subdued their enemies like lust, greed, anger. It is called six in number in Vedantic texts like Bhagavad Gita and others. There are these six terrible enemies. Kama, Krodha, Bhaya, Lobha, Mada, Matsar. They lust, then anger, then there is the uh, greed, then there is the uh, idea that I am the great one, I can do anything. You become just so emboldened by that, you don't care for anybody, mother. And then you start hating others, matsara. So all these enemies that are in us, if you can't conquer them, you will be defeated by these enemies no matter how the whole world you conquer. It is said that the Alexander the Great started weeping because there is no more world remained to be conquered. Not so, but still. And then it is said that he was visited by a Buddhist and told that, well, you don't conquer anything. And if the most important thing to conquer is one's desires, the passions, and the tendency to rule over somebody, that is something that needs to be conquered. Otherwise, you may think you are going to conquer the whole world. No. And then Hiranyakashipu was getting more and more agitated that what you are talking about, don't talk nonsense. Where is the Lord of the world that you speak of? Where is that? Now Prahlada is seeing it everywhere and Hiranyakashipu is seeing it nowhere. See the opposite positions. Prahlada seeing everywhere, so cannot be pointed out. That which is in some place and not at other places, you can point out by finger. That yes, there is Vrishali, I can point by finger. Hey, here she is. But suppose something is everywhere. Where is space? Space is everywhere. I cannot point by finger. Hey, here is the space and here is not space. Space is everywhere. Do you get it, Ishani? Space is, can you point out to space? Here it is the space. No, everywhere it is. So, but who can see this space? If you are not able to see, you will say that such a thing doesn't exist. I am not able to see it because we can see, most of us are trained only to see the existence in if it is particularized, forgetting that all particulars have to have an inclusive something of which it is manifestation. In mathematics, they teach set theory. So, simple something, but in all particular sets, you have to first assume a universal set of which all these sets are parts. All sets you can think of, there is the universal set without which many operations in the set theory cannot be defined at all. So, this universal set, that it is something everywhere, and it comes into our conception automatically. I remember in my childhood that, okay, and this, I am in my home. Hmm. This home, our home is in a particular colony. Okay. Now this colony is in a particular town. And that town is again part of a state. That state is part of the country. Hmm. This country is the part of the world. This earth is part of the solar system. This solar system is part of this galaxy. This galaxy again would be part of a group of galaxies. Now all this again, where all this is included in, what is it in which all this is included? I never got the proper answer, because every answer again gives rise to the question, but then where is that included? In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there is this Gargi, a very brilliant debater and learned lady, asks these questions to Yajnavalkya, that Kasmin, where this is Otascha, Protascha, where this is involved, in what it says. Okay, then understood. But you say it is in the mind. But where is the mind contained in? What the mind is contained in? What is the bigger vessel in which the mind is contained? What is the still bigger vessel than that? And so forth. So we come to that stage where we posit that there is something that is all pervading, and it does not have anything out or anything in. The idea of outside and inside gets obliterated there, and therefore you cannot ask the question where it is contained. You can ask where this body is contained, but where that all pervading reality is contained, that question itself is a fallacious question. So, in fact, in set theory also, that I invoke the set theory, so let me tell the funny story about it. That Bertrand Russell, a well known mathematician and logician, dealt with this problem, that it is that how you can think of this set of all sets. Think of the set of all sets. Then is it a member of that set? Again, that you see, set of all sets. Now, so that is now a set. So by definition, that also has to be a member of that set. But then if it is a member of that set, then it cannot contain all sets. Does it contain itself? So he gave an example to solve this paradox. You cannot really answer this. That there was only one barber in a village. And then he claimed that all men here, those who do not shave themselves, I shave them. And somebody pointed out that cannot be a true statement, because what about that barber himself? Do you see? If the barber shaves himself, then he falls amongst those who shaves themselves, and so should not be shaving himself. And if he doesn't shave himself, then he has to shave himself, because all those who don't shave themselves, he shaves them. So this is a contradiction like that. So Yajnavalkya tells, no, 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 don't ask beyond this. Don't be illogical. It is all-pervading existence. There cannot be anything beyond that. So this is everywhere. One has to sense it. The all-pervading reality of which all these are manifestations. So it is like this, that you are, say, seeing a movie on a screen. Now, the one who is there is asking, where is the screen? Where is the screen? Suppose one of the characters in the movie is asking another, where is the screen? Well, you are part of the screen, I am part of the screen. We have no other existence beyond the screen. If this screen is not there, our existence is also not there. Screen pervades everything. And so Hiranyakashipu is asking, where is that? This is all movie, isn't it? A big movie. It is the great writer Shakespeare says, therefore, the world is theatre. Drama or movie, same thing, it's a theatre that we just act here, and we do not have any existence like that being. So it is like, where is it? It is, where is now the screen? Tell, where is the screen? Now you cannot point out, because suppose somebody in the movie points out to that sheep grazing there, that is screen. Oh, that is sheep, that is not screen. It is, where is the screen? Think about it. It is, and the one who knows, like when you go to see the movie, you know that it is the screen. Everything is happening on that screen only. So now this Hiranyakashipu is getting enraged more and more, that it is, there are some who consider themselves as the victors of all 10 quarters. Without first, we saw that conquering the enemies within. Hiranyakashipu said, you fool, you who indulge in such a senseless and arrogant talk are facing imminent death, for none but those who are face to face with death will talk such unbridled nonsense. That is what Hiranyakashipu is uttering. Now look whose is unbridled nonsense. Hiranyakashipu is just talking. It is, he actually got a verbal diarrhea, Hiranyakashipu, talking all sorts of nonsense. So it is, and he asked Prahlada, oh, hapless fellow, where is that Lord of the worlds of whom you speak, if there is any such thing? Everywhere, replied Prahlada. Why? Is he in this pillar then? If everywhere Prahlada says that I see him, there also Prahlada is seeing everything on that screen. That screen is the reality. So where is the screen? Is that in the pillar? Of course it is in the pillar also. Now Hiranyakashipu said, let me take it out of that pillar and then let me see. I, the master of universe, am now going to sever your head, you impertinent prattler. Let Hari, of whom you speak as the shelter of all, protect you if he can, said Hiranya. And castigating his highly uh, pious son with such angry and abusive words, the powerful Hiranyakashipu jumped from his throne, sword in hand, and delivered a blow with his very strong fist on the pillar wherein Prahlada had said he saw Sri Hari. If you want to see God who is all pervading, if you want to see him from the pillar, okay, you will find that in pillar also. And as it happened then, that was just the time of dusk. It was neither day nor night. And the death of Hiranyakashipu manifested there in the Hari, manifested there in the form through that the pillar broke, and this half man and half lion manifest there. This half, because the Prahlada's boon was he should not be killed during the day, during the night, nor by a man or by an animal or by any celestial being. So here is half man, half lion. Should not be killed by any weapon or any missile. So he was going to be killed by his just bare nails. He tore the body of Hiranyakashipu with the mere nails. And thus all those conditions were fulfilled. So, and Hiranyakashipu got killed. He was not to be killed on earth or in the heaven or in the waters. So he was killed on the lap of this lion man, Narasimha. Nara means man, Simha means lion. In this form of Narasimha, this was killed. That immediately a terrific sound arose from the pillar. That sound was so loud that it seemed to crack the cosmic shell. Hearing it, Brahma and other deities thought that the doomsday of the world, including their spheres, has come. Thus, while Hiranyakashipu was making a determined effort to kill his son, he was wonderstruck to hear the strange and terror inspiring sound, whose source he could not trace anywhere in that assembly. In order to make true the words of his devotees that he saw Hari in the pillar too, and also to demonstrate that he was immanent in everything. The Lord was seen as emerging into the assembly from the pillar in the form that was neither of a beast nor of a man. So that is how he was killed there, Hiranyakashipu, and you can imagine this terrible form of Hiranyakashipu just tore apart this tremendously powerful demon Hiranyakashipu. His Hiranyakashipu's power, as we saw, the three worlds trembled before his power, and he was just torn apart in this way everywhere. The blood and the parts of the body were getting just strewn around in a very horrific scene, very grotesque kind of scene there. And Lord is just sitting there with all this. And then there are all the demigods and Prahlada. Those demigods, everybody was scared to approach near this terrible form. So they said, Prahlada, you go. Prahlada had no fear being a devotee. Devotion, you become fearless. Out because of love, if you are, love somebody, there is no fear. So Prahlada goes. We shall see the Prahlada's prayer in our next Friday class. Today the time is over, so we shall chant the closing chant. Then you can ask question if you have any. So please chant loudly. निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखात् अमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुर्हो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः. O devotees, quaff, quaff to intoxication this nectar of the fruit of the tree of Vedas, flowing from the mouth of the great sage Shuka and mixed with the ambrosia from his words. Any questions? There is no question here. Any question there? No questions. So we shall conclude with the closing song. Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol, Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol. Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol, Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol. Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol, Hari Hari Bol. Krishna Krishna Bol, Krishna Krishna Bol, Krishna Krishna Bol, Krishna Krishna Bol. Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bol, Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol, Keshava Madhava Hari Hari Bol. as most of you surely know, tomorrow after the regular karma yoga and the guided meditation, there is going to be the day-long meditation from noon to 8 p.m.